Hello, everyone.
Sweet.
So starting out with Punk. Hello, everyone. It's just me today. How's everyone doing today? Put it in the chat. Hello, Eduardo. How y'all doing? True, better one than none. I believe Mr. Jacobs is going to be here soon. So, you know, but there you go. If you have any topics y'all want to talk about, just, let me know in the chat. Talk about how if Hook is too much of a push or truly a grown talent. Hook, I love Hook, and it's weird. I've been seeing a lot of takes on Hook that's a lot of like, oh, he should be like pushed to like TNT title scene. I disagree with that. I think that he is very good for his age, but you can't confuse like him being over with the audience for uh him being over with the audience for like, hey, he needs to be the like push now. I think what's going on with Hook right now, I think how TK is booking him, I think it's very good. Talk about CM Punk or the lack thereof. Well, right now CM Punk's on, so I do love Punk. He is probably my favorite wrestler in AEW. Bias because I'm from Chicago, so I love Punk, and I think what he's doing right now with MJF is very good. I Everyone was saying how great the MJF and Punk match was. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of like the screwy finishes and stuff like that, so I wasn't huge into that. But I'm not mad at it, and I think what he's doing right now is great. Him going with all the younger talent, essentially telling the story of him shaking off that ring rust from 7 years, and then eventually when he's going to be facing people like Moxley, like Omega, like Danielson, I think it's going to be great. Hello, Brenda. How are y'all doing today? I mean, there's some pretty big news we can talk about. Are you still an AEW fan, even though Cody is no longer with AEW? That's a good question. I've been very open that Cody is one of my favorite parts of AEW. His match with Dustin at Double or Nothing 2019 is my favorite AEW match. For me, it personally tops the Revolution tag team match. But I'm still a fan, yeah. I mean, it's hard not to be with people like CM Punk and Danielson. And I do I think Cody, if he wants to go for the big payday that WWE is going to be offering, then yeah, all power to him. He just had a kid. He's looking out for his family. I respect that, you know. No, but it does make me kind of sad to see him go. But nonetheless, I will still support him in his choice, you know. Glad to hear you're doing great, Brenda. I'm going to open up a soda real quick. This is cool that right now they're starting out with Punk in a promo. It's very rare that AEW does that, but I really enjoy when they do. So long as it happens very rarely, like they're doing now. I don't like constantly starting with a promo or something. You know, I think starting with wrestling is the best way to start out any show. I wonder what Stip MJF versus Punk is going to be. You think it'll be a great show tonight? I definitely agree. I think this card is stacked. Connor and Chris are so lucky to be there right now. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a dog collar match between Punk and MJF, and they're talking about Valentine's because Greg the Hammer Valentine. That is perfect. Punk is a really good dog collar match, I believe, against Raven. Very good match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That will be very cool. I hope that's at Revolution. I'm also opening some candy. I think it's best to enjoy TV and wrestling with candy. I apologize. Man, I'm so excited now. I love dog collar matches. It's crazy that it won't even be the first in AEW. Eddie, I mean, fair enough. Yep, there we go. Tony Schiavone mentioning Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper. Great match. I love Roddy Piper. He's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I witnessed him for Halloween this year. I guess last year. Talk about AEW New Japan and how they're showing talent. Oh yeah, I love New Japan. I think New Japan actually has the best wrestling in the entire world. I'm a huge fan of Strong Style, and just Okada's great. Tanahashi's great. Love Kenta, but I like AEW a bit more because I'm a bigger fan of the story going into the match rather than the match itself. That sounds really weird because we watch wrestling for the match, but I love the story going in, and that's what AEW does best. But if you can get the best of both worlds with AEW and New Japan working together, that's going to be so good. And there's so many money matches to be made. I need Okada versus Danielson. Okada versus Danielson would be so good. Who else? I need Tanahashi versus Mox. Oh my God! If they do that at Windy City Riot in Chicago, I will cry. I will cry. It'll be so good. Oh my God. What's another money matchup? I want to see Shingo Takagi versus just anyone in AEW. I think that'd be awesome. I believe Takagi and Danielson had a match a few years back, and it was very good. But also just Ibushi, the stories that could be told with Omega and Ibushi, that could be great. Who else? What other names do I want to see? I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Danielson, definitely. Now talk about New Japan versus AAA wrestling and their presence in AEW. I don't know much about New Japan versus AAA. I thought that New Japan and CMLL they worked a lot together. because of La Sombra, Andrade's former character. He worked in New Japan and in CMLL. And so I guess that makes sense that New Japan wouldn't be best of friends with AAA because AAA and CMLL are at each other's necks. Eddie's asking, where's Connor? Connor is currently at the show right now. He's actually at in Nashville for Dynamite. He's very lucky. The card looks awesome. I'm so jealous of him. But yeah, New Japan versus AAA. I really like AAA. Like I only seek it out whenever I hear that there's a match or a pay-per-view that's going to be pretty good. But you know, it's difficult to watch. It's difficult to watch very much of it because I don't speak Spanish. I can understand a little bit of it. I'm not great at it. So yeah, I know a little bit of Spanish, but I don't know enough to watch AAA. I would love to learn though, and I took classes and everything, but I only took 2 years worth of it, and that was not enough. I need to take more. Also, Lee Moriarty versus Danielson tonight. That's going to be so good. I love Lee Moriarty. I'm excited for. They've done on Dark or Dark Elevation Lee Moriarty versus Daniel Garcia, and I think that it was so good. Actually, it was a very good match. So I think it's going to happen on Dynamite at some point, and then it's definitely going to happen at some pay-per-view. They'll go from Dark to Dynamite to pay-per-view, and I think that'll be really good storytelling to just show that these two guys are like the spiritual rivals, kind of like the New Day and Usos. Love the picture CM Punk showed of him in MJF. I love that picture too. It's so good. I love that they brought it up. I love that the feud started with Punk acknowledging that MJF was a fan of his. So I thought that was very cool. And right now we're in commercials, but I believe that the match that's starting off is probably going to be Danielson and Moriarty. That match is going to be so good. Danielson, I believe he is the best wrestler in AEW right now. My views on MJF. I love MJF. I think he could definitely be like a modern day Ric Flair-esque kind of person because like back in the 80s and everything, Ric Flair would go from territory to territory defending his championships and everything. And he would barely win, and he would cheat, obviously. He would barely win, and that way the rematch draws even more money. I bet MJF could definitely do that. He is a heel that people actually hate in the modern era, which is so difficult to do in modern wrestling. Like, think about when the Tribal Chief started, people loved that. People loved Roman being a heel, and so they would cheer him instead of booing him. MJF, people will actually boo, which is just insane to see. Like, if you can't get over from facing MJF, I don't know how to help you, Everyone hates MJF. It's so easy to get people over just by making them face MJF. But yeah, MJF, he's definitely integral to AEW, I believe. Like, Cody, like, as crazy it is to say, Cody, I think AEW would be fine without him. If AEW doesn't have MJF, I'm like actually kind of worried there because MJF is going to be huge. Like, that's such an investment into the future. Yeah, I don't know who the main heel of AEW is going to be if it's not MJF, He's also he has the gateway to so many good stories to tell, especially among the pillars. MJF has already beaten Jungle Boy and he's beaten Darby now, and he's also beaten Sammy. He's beaten all of them. So all of the pillars can really get their win back and could justifiably take the championship from him, I think that the story of Jungle Boy versus MJF for a championship could be so good with MJF being like this rich, pompous, like jerk, and Jungle Boy being this workhorse, I think that just tells such a great story. Speaking of Jungle Boy, he's on TV right now. I absolutely love Christian Cage being being with Jurassic Express. Christian Cage is I can't remember where I just placed him. I made a little list, but he's like my third favorite wrestler in AEW right now. I just love, like I said, story over moves for me. He's so good at like drawing drama. Like that match that he had with Kazarian, his first match in the company, that was so good. I love that kind of wrestling. That's why like FTR versus DIY is my favorite match. And what I don't know who that is. I'm looking forward to finding Chris with his sign. Oh yeah, I hope we can see their sign too. Controversial take, but Jungle Boy being pushed too early, or is it the right time? I don't know if it's too early, but it's been feeling like I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you know what the uncanny valley is, it kind of feels like that regarding Jungle Boy's push, because Darby has had TNT gold, Sammy has had TNT gold, MJF is definitely going to have like championship gold soon, and then Jungle Boy's just kind of in the tag division playing second. It doesn't feel like he's playing second fiddle, but him and Christian, Christian's such a big star, it feels like he hasn't gotten too much spotlight. But maybe that's just because my own bias towards liking Christian. I've chosen to ignore Jungle Boy more, subconsciously. But I don't think he's being pushed too early. I think that you have to really set the seeds right now for all these stories that can be told. I love Jungle Boy. I think he has, like, in terms of wrestling, just wrestling, not taking into character or anything, character, look, anything else, solely wrestling. I think that he's the most solid out of the four pillars. But when you take into account character and everything, I think he might be third or fourth, because MJF is the best character. Darby has just such a cool look and a cool moveset that suits that. It just amplifies him. And then Sammy, I think Sammy just ain't doing it for me, kind of. He's good. There's no doubt he's very good. But it just feels like he'd be better as a heel. And it also just feels like the inner circle is like just draining him. I feel like he needs to leave the inner circle, definitely. And I hope that that's what this angle is leading to, because he could do so much more without them. Like when that American Top Team feud happened, oh my God, Sammy was the TNT champion and he didn't even get the pinfall in the match. Jericho got it. I thought that was ridiculous. I love that Moriarty is getting these big matches. He's faced Punk. He's facing Danielson now. Want to see him face Omega. I can't wait till Omega's back. It's going to be insane. Also, I cannot wait until Punk versus Omega happens. I think that's the biggest match AEW can do right now. Either that or Punk versus Danielson. Yeah, he definitely did. And I think that might just be Jericho. Like, that could just sum up Jericho as stealing people's spotlight. I'm low-key hoping Jericho goes back to WWE, gets his final run in, gets his Hall of Fame induction. He's done enough for AEW, I think. He's helped establish the company, but he really, there's not much more he can do. I think he should put over Sammy or MJF on the way out. I'm leaning towards Sammy just because he's already faced MJF. And, yeah, that's my take on it. I feel like Jericho kind of ruined the Inner Circle versus Pinnacle feud, because I really think the Pinnacle should have just stomped the Inner Circle, and then that should have led to the Inner Circle dissolving. But really, Jericho won at All Out, and then that feud was put to rest. And I really did not like that. I think that when the Pinnacle debuted, they were white hot. And then they win Blood and Guts in a very cool fashion, with Sammy calling for the timeout, or Sammy saying he surrenders, and then MJF throwing Jericho down. That could have, excuse me, that could have been it, and I would have been happy with it. But then they did the Stadium Stampede, and Inner Circle won at Double or Nothing, and then they go All Out, MJF versus Jericho. Jericho wins. Did not like that. It really just feels like the Pinnacle lost the feud. And then now look where they are. They barely are on TV together. They're all doing their own separate things. It's just, it's such a missed opportunity, in my opinion. AEW has a few celebrities in the audience. Melissa Joan Hartman. I do not know who that is, but I'm assuming that she's famous. Yes, on the Jericho. I'm glad you agree, Eduardo. I think, man, once he goes back to WWE, I'll be pretty happy. And that's nothing against Jericho. I think he's great. It's just there's not much he can offer for a company like AEW right now. Man, Lee is so good. Is there anything I would know her in, Brenda? Any shows or movies or anything? Yeah. I love Danielson doing the "I've got till 5." So good. I've been watching a lot of old Danielson matches, like from 2004 to 2009. After this episode, I'm planning on watching Danielson versus Chris Hero from PWG. So, well, after this episode, I hope I have time to watch it. I have homework due. At least where I am tomorrow, we're having tons of snow, and I'm in like Chicago. Well, I'm in Central Illinois, but normally I'm in the Chicagoland area. But for me, school's canceled tomorrow. What about you guys? How's the weather where everyone is? Anything crazy or not? Hey, what's up, Mr. Jacobs?
Hey, what's going on, Aiden? What's going on,
Nothing much. How about
everybody?
you?
I'm doing all right.
Last questions. I've been asking too much. No, you're not asking too much. What are your views on old wrestlers saying AEW doesn't have physically big wrestlers to sell the show? I think you could just look at the success of Black and Gold NXT. Like, they didn't have physically big wrestlers. They were doing really good shows. They had huge audiences. Wrestling, like, people know it's not real now. You know, you don't need to have
Yeah,
these giant guys. Uh,
I agree. I totally agree with that.
yeah, like look at Omega versus Danielson. That helped sell out the Grand Slam show, and those guys aren't huge. You know, look at Danielson. Like, look how good Danielson is. He's not huge at all.
Correct. I mean, I think there's a lot more, to it than just being big.
Mm-hmm. She acted in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, God's Not Dead, and others. I have not seen either of those. I've heard of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but that's no
So,
knowledge.
so I assume you've talked about the elephant in the room already.
Not yet, actually. Not yet.
Okay, so I think it's a good time to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, okay,
Like we talked
now,
like just a little bit, but not
yeah.
much.
This whole thing with Cody and Brandy. I mean, it's it, it it's pretty much the talk of the whole wrestling world right now, and for me, I kind of part of me saw it coming because I kind of already knew how Cody was. He's always been about the money. He's never really been about the elite. I mean, if you notice, from the past, he's kind of always been on his own island.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, personally, I don't see it as a bad thing as far as the potential money he could be getting because he has a family to raise now. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
that's what I was. That's what I was saying. I expect him, if it
yeah.
is true that he's getting this $3 to $5 million deal. He just had a kid. If he's looking out for his
hmm
family, I respect that. You know.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I mean, I've heard people, I've heard people saying that he was like a sellout and some stuff like that. I'm like, come on. I mean, now the whole point of the business is to make money and to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the whole point of it. I mean, if you're not making money, then they're not. What are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Like, I'm sad to see him go, but it's like I
Yeah,
don't think that AEW is going to die because he's gone.
exactly. And it kind of, I think, in a way, it kind of to some fans, it kind of like pushed the curtain back a little bit and showed you who has power and who doesn't have power,
Mm-hmm.
in the company. And you learn that Cody didn't. I mean, for Cody didn't have that much power. I mean, he was a free agent. Him and Brandy were free agents. They what? It started in December when their contract ended.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been free agents since December, and it was already known months ahead of time that the elite had let go of some of their power as far as running the company.
Yeah, and I think it was like in like early 2020 that the elite stopped like being a head bookers, and TK took a lot of it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of talk about Cody and TK, you know, having getting into it and whatever. And I think it's just mainly business. I don't think they have any bad feelings towards each other. I think it's just business.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
I think Cody wanted a like a big money contract like Danielson or Punk, and I
Yeah,
think that maybe TK just didn't see it. Personally, I think that Cody is worth the same amount as Danielson and Punk,
yeah, I
but
agree.
that kind of depends on what Cody wanted to do. Because Cody was talking about how he did not want to play a heel, he wanted to be the babyface, but the
Right.
fans just did not want him to be that babyface. They wanted him to be a heel,
Yeah.
and so ultimately, I think we all kind of thought, "Oh, Cody's going to be this kind of like meta heel." But then it just
Yeah.
ended up being Cody just really maybe he just really did want to play the babyface, and TK didn't want him to, and maybe that is another reason.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it could be a number of reasons, but I think the main thing comes down to money.
Hmm.
You know.
I definitely agree.
And I just caught that CM Punk promo. That was awesome. He pulled out the
Hmm.
picture and everything and left them speechless. I thought that was brilliant.
I'm so excited for the dog collar match. He had a really good
Yes.
he had a really good dog collar match with Raven, and I'm hoping
Hmm.
it's half as brutal as that one.
And this Danielson and Lee match is pretty good. I gotta say. I mean, Lee Moriarty has been showing his stuff lately,
I love
and
Lee Moriarty.
yeah, I'm totally into him.
I think he's one of the, how people call him the generation of killers, the Daniel
Hmm.
Garcia Hook.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely one of them, and
Hmm.
I like the name generation of prodigies
Yeah.
better, not
Yeah.
prodigies, because they're more technical wrestlers. But I think he's definitely.
Mhm.
I think him and Daniel Garcia are going to have so many good matches together in the future because they have such good chemistry.
Yeah, and they're still so young, and they could be doing this for a for a longer time because of
Hmm.
their youth, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I think is awesome is that this young talent's getting the push that they deserve. I feel like that's like best for business right there,
Hmm.
because they're the torch holders. You know.
Hmm. Brenda says, "Will Cody and Brandy say goodbye tonight?" I doubt it. I bet that. I bet that if Cody does come back,
Mhm.
I think it'll probably be at Revolution. But like, if this whole thing is a work, which I don't think it is, I don't think it's a work. Um, but if it is, he's probably coming back at Revolution. I bet that I don't think he's coming back.
Right. And if it is a work, it was probably to get some leverage on for himself.
Hmm.
You know.
Oops. Do you have any? I do. I think Impact. I think it's very like decently booked, but it has a lot of like glaring flaws in its booking that
Mhm.
just outweigh just how consistent it is.
I think
When
from what I've
Moose,
s oh, go ahead.
like when Moose beat Josh Alexander, like in front of his
Mhm.
family in the ring, and
Yeah.
now Josh Alexander's contract has expired, it's just like, okay, there was no point in investing this months long build in Josh Alexander because he's just lost the title in a few seconds. I thought that was a horrible decision. I think having Deonna
Mhm.
Purrazzo lose to Mickey James was a horrible decision.
Mm.
Um, but ultimately, I think they do have some good booking. It just their talent pool is not nearly as good as AEW's.
I
Uh,
agree. Yeah.
yeah. What about you?
I mean, I feel the same. The thing is that it with the booking itself. I mean, it's kind of up and down. It goes up and down for me. Like there's some things that I love, some things that I'm like, come on. But I think that's the thing about it is that that's the business. That's the wrestling business as a whole. I mean, it's a roller coaster. It can go up and go down and go up, go down. But I think what you got to do is stick with it. and I personally don't watch as much Impact as I should. But from what I do watch and from what I've seen, I mean, I'm not totally disappointed in the product. It's not to the point to where I'm not gonna to where I don't want to watch it. You know.
Mm, that's fair. I think that's a good take. For me, like I think I definitely do need to watch it more. It's just like getting into a new promotion is so difficult because you have to learn all of these new characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
You
Moist
see,
Cuddler.
you
That's a
see,
great
you
name.
see, you see, you see Danielson posing as he was making him tap out. That was
Hmm.
great. I love that.
I love his arrogant persona, just the American Dragon. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's crazy that WWE didn't let him do that. That he was just always small baby face, but here he's like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick your head in.
Exactly. He can flourish there. It's like he can flourish in AEW, and I love that.
Hmm.
Let me go grab my food out the stove right quick. I'll be right back.
I got you. How are you doing, Moist Cuddler? I'm loving this Brian Danielson and John Moxley feud. Also, Mox has the one of the best, not the best, theme in AEW, in my opinion. Wild Thing is so good. I'm excited. I hope we get Mox versus Hangman, but someone tells me that that was going to be before he went into rehab. And now people, I don't want to boo him personally. I think that keeping him the face is going to be the best choice.
All right, I'm back. Just in time to see Moxley walking out.
Hmm. I was just talking about how I want to see Mox and Hangman go at it, but I don't think
Mhm.
anyone's going to want to boo Mox and no one's going to want to boo Hangman. So I'll probably have to wait a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, because they're so beloved right now. It's kind of hard to even choose.
Especially after Mox came back from rehab, you know.
Yeah, and he looks so much better after rehab,
He looks great.
full of energy. Yeah, I agree, Brenda. He knows how to make an entrance.
Hmm. I love the crowd entrance, which is weird. I love the crowd entrance, but I don't like when wrestlers fight in the crowd because it's so difficult to see.
Yeah, I do agree with that. When you're watching on TV, especially if you're there live, it's much harder.
When you're there live, if they're right next to you, it's pretty cool. I went to an AAW show on February 4th, and they
Mhm.
fought literally on top of my chair. Like they literally used my chair to hit each other. But
That's
so
awesome.
that was really cool. But then eventually they worked their way around the arena, and I just couldn't see
Yeah.
anything. So
I mean, the only
it's
way
a
the only way you can actually tell is the spotlight following them. That's the only
mhm,
way you can tell where they're at.
yeah.
And I mean, Moxley's promos since he's gotten back have been nothing but fire.
Hmm.
I mean, not a miss.
Flip Gordon is at AEW. Yeah, that's what Connor said. Connor said that he saw him there. I forgot to say
Hmm.
that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
I wonder if that means maybe he'll appear on No, I don't think he's on Dark Elevation. I definitely would have heard about it by now, but
Mm,
maybe maybe he's just backstage checking out the place. I know that there's a lot of wrestlers who do that. If I
yeah,
remember correctly, there's another tag team who's backstage tonight, just to like I think probably get a feel for the environment.
yeah. I've been hearing a lot. I've been hearing a lot about how you know they're gonna start slowing down, hiring so many new talent into the company, and let the people that are already there kind of get their footing and have build up storylines and stuff like that. And I think that's a good idea. I mean, I think it's not a bad idea to slow it down,
Hmm.
because the rosters are already pretty much packed.
Oh yeah,
You
it
know,
is insanely packed. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like we could, and like there's still so many free agents. There's Johnny Gargano. There's Swerve. Oh my gosh, Samoa
yes,
Joe.
yeah,
Like I want all of them in AEW, but like at that point, that's so many people.
yeah, and like you don't want to oversaturate it.
Hmm.
See, Mox is making some pretty good points in this promo.
Hmm. I don't know
Uh,
what kind of young guys would pair well with Mox though. Like Danielson obviously would be like a technician or something, but Mox,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is going to take some thought right there. But that reminds me of something Brock Lesnar actually said, because he said something kind of to the same thing on a podcast.
Yeah, that people need
Kind
to
of
someone needs to step up and like get over.
right.
Hmm.
It has to be a young talent.
Hmm. I think that like I agree with Brock that at least in WWE, because I think
Yeah.
for AEW they're doing perfectly fine with young talent.
Oh yeah,
But
I agree with that.
like WWE, have you seen the recent report that Stone Cold might be wrestling in WrestleMania?
I heard. Yeah, I heard he's supposed something about him and Kevin Owens.
Hmm.
And I don't. I mean, that whole thing could be a spot for young talent to get a WrestleMania experience.
Mustafa Ali could be there, you know,
Exactly,
but no,
exactly.
it's going to Stone Cold. And so I think definitely WWE has a problem with that, and they definitely need to work on getting these young people over. Like think about like Braun Breaker, he's over right now and
Mhm.
he's really good.
Yeah,
I think they're, and maybe that just goes to show that NXT 2.0 is kind of like doing its intended purpose. Sure, its viewership is in the mud right now. It's so bad,
yeah,
but it does have a purpose of like, being developmental for people like Braun Breaker.
right. I think as far as performers, I mean, NXT they have a good group of performers.
Hmm.
I just think with the creative, that's kind of where I go, off and on with it.
Boogs. Yeah. Like Finn Balor and Cesaro weren't even in the Rumble, and then Johnny Knoxville was.
I actually enjoyed seeing Johnny in the Rumble. That was pretty funny.
I think that he threw some pretty good forearms.
Yeah,
those Shibata forearms. But like
yeah,
ultimately, like I'm fine with a few celebrity appearances, but I guess he was the only one. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Jackass, which is really weird. I really thought I would like.
mm,
I've only seen two, and it was decently funny. But
mm. I mean,
so
I guess I grew up. I mean, I grew up watching it on MTV, and like the movies. They're. I mean, I thought they were funny. I like the show better than the movies. I mean, honestly.
I haven't seen a single episode of the show. So
I mean, it's actually pretty funny. I mean, I guess. I mean, it has its audience. I guess
mhm.
it's not for
I wish that
everybody.
I was into it. Like I wish that I got to watch. There's a lot of shows that I wish I watched when I was younger.
Now, I mean, now I'm trying to. I'm hoping that with Keith Lee now in AEW, they're gonna do something right with him. Because that's the first thing I thought about when he first got to AEW. I was like, okay, he's there. That's awesome. Now what? You know?
How have I not seen the artwork that is Jackass? I've only seen two. I'm sorry.
The artwork that is Jackass. Like I told you, I mean, it has its audience out there.
I'll probably
And
have
I
to watch it at
personally,
some point. A lot of my friends like him, so
yeah, I think you'll find. I mean, if you want to find like different episodes of the TV show, I'm pretty sure they're not hard to find.
do you think that Max Caster drops a line about Cody tonight?
Oh, I hope so. I
Oh
hope
man,
so.
that will
That'll be
light the
so
arena on
dope.
fire. Also, I hope that Wardlow wins this one because Max Caster didn't really do much in the last phase of the Revolution ladder match. I don't think he
Yeah.
needs to be in two of them.
You know what? I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
I kind of hope that Wardlow wins and then Hobbs also wins his match, and then it's just a Hoss fest for the ladder match. I
Yeah.
think that'd be so funny to see. Like as much as I want to see Dante Martin in a ladder match because he will do something insane, I want a Hoss fest ladder match would be so funny.
Yeah. I do agree. Yeah. I mean, because it's always awesome seeing big dudes in ladder matches. I mean, come on.
Oh, don't! How dare you?
You got him with that one. You see, look on Warlow's face like this idiot.
You didn't say anything about Cody. How dare you
Nope.
call Nashville hot chicken
Oh
overrated?
man.
It's really good.
he, he had to bury the chicken. But I can't wait until Wardlow finally gets a good singles push that's worth something. Oh,
Oh man, it's going right into picture in picture, isn't it?
yep. So yeah, I mean with Warlow, I mean that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for a big Warlow push, and it's probably going to be a while from now. But I cannot wait to see it because it's gonna be something that I think how am I gonna how would I say? I guess uh pertinent. Is that a good word for it? Is like or not pertinent,
Like
but
it's inevitable, like it's gonna happen.
yes, inevitable. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Inevitable.
Hmm.
Like it's gonna happen eventually.
Oh, definitely. I'm so excited for it. I love like it's he's kind of in a similar spot to Brian Cage because like I have to elaborate on that because that sounds really weird. Because like with Brian Cage turning face on Team Taz, but
Yeah.
Wardlow's face turn is just like it's doing so much better than Brian Cage's was because Wardlow, like the pinnacle, MJF is like such a dastardly heel because people will actually boo him that him
Yeah.
like MJF bullying Wardlow actually gets the fans heated.
Hmm.
And whereas people really liked Ricky Starks and really like Hobbs and really like Hook, you know,
Hmm.
Cage, he was never going to get over doing that. And then Cage also like lost every single match that he was in, which was really weird to me. But
You know, to me, the relationship with MJF and Wardlow, excuse me, Wardlow, it reminds me of Triple H and Batista whenever they had their feud in Evolution.
that's such a good take. I love that
It,
comparison.
it
It's so
reminds me,
good.
it reminds me just of that because he's doing all he can to keep Wardlow from wanting to get over him. and he'll say anything and do anything, and then eventually Wardlow just gonna just powerbomb his ass.
Mhm. Can like, oh my gosh, I can already see like a similar thing. Like Wardlow wins a championship match when MJF is champion,
Yeah,
and then MJF is like, "You're not going to use that, right, buddy?" And Wardlow just like looks at him, and then gives him the powerbomb symphony.
yeah. I love that dynamic because you know that eventually you know that bubble's gonna pop.
Mhm.
You
Oh, it's
just,
going to be
you just
so
I'm
good
just
when it
waiting to
does.
see it.
There's a match I thought it would be like a squash match,
Mhm.
but Max Caster's actually getting offense in.
Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I expected him just to go in there and slaughter him like he's been doing everybody else.
Hmm. Do you see Max Caster as being like a vital player to AEW in the future? Or I want to hear your take on that.
I mean, honestly speaking, I do. I actually do. I mean, the guy has talent, and I'm not gonna sit here and downplay it. I mean, but as far as like world championship status, I don't know about that. But maybe one day going after the TNT title. Maybe one day being in that picture. I can see that with a little more time.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Like I think he's not at like the level of like Darby or Sammy or Jungle Boy, but he's also not at
Right.
like he's maybe like a little bit higher than like Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. I agree with that. I do agree with that. We pair bummed the hell out of him. Oh,
So it's set MJF for CM Punk at Revolution for a dog collar match.
yes. That's gonna get bloody as hell. I can already tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I could see it being better than Punk versus Raven dog collar match.
You know what? I'm not even gonna deny. I thought about that. I'm thinking like, could it be better? And the thing is, the story alone, and then they throw in dog collars. I mean, it's kind of hard not to think that it's gonna be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wardlow's
Warlow's a
power bombs look
beast.
so raw. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't wait. He doesn't try to plant you nicely. He just does it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's what I like. Yeah, that's what I like about his power bombs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited. Keith Lee and Wardlow, we're gonna get that Haas stare down.
Yes.
I think Wardlow's like 33 years old, which is pretty young.
Yeah. In wrestling years, that's pretty young.
Mm-hmm. So I think he'll be with AEW for a good amount of time.
Hmm. You have to excuse me if I keep going in and out because I got food cooking, so I'm gonna be popping in and
No,
out, in and out.
you're all good. Sorry that people keep running in and out behind me. My roommate just got back.
No, you're good, man.
I like that.
Dude,
Oh my god! What?
that's from
It's Kreese.
Karate Kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
where the hell did that come from? I love it. Where the hell did that come from?
That was so out of nowhere. Another
I
celebrity. Yeah,
love it.
man, there's a lot of celebrities tonight.
Oh my
Brenda
gosh.
pointed out earlier. Brenda pointed out. Oh, what was her name? Um, Melissa Joan Hartman,
Mm.
and so. Oh, we hear from Hangman. I love seeing Hangman on my TV.
Already got a promo coming, man.
Hangman Page is honestly, in my opinion, like slept on in terms of being like just a good wrestler. because no one puts him in these like dream match scenarios, but then he gets put in them and then he delivers. Like Danielson
Mhm.
versus Hangman, I don't think people
Yeah,
really thought it was going to be as good as it was, but then it ended up just being so good.
yeah. I mean, personally, for me, his run hasn't been that exciting.
Really,
Not to me. I mean,
I
I
think
mean,
his opponents have.
I
It's
guess,
been because
I guess,
his opponents outshine him.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan, and I'm glad that he's been in this position. But his title run hasn't been that exciting for me. You know.
Hmm. I get that. It to an extent, it kind of feels like Bianca Belair's run after she beat Sasha at Mania 37, where like it was
Mhm.
all the hype going into her winning, and then she
Yeah,
won, and
yeah,
then it didn't really take it and run with it. It kind of just stayed there for a bit. But I think that
yeah. Totally
I
agree.
think I feel like it's just because like Danielson really carried that feud with Hangman, and I think that wasn't Hangman's fault. That was the booking's fault.
True, true.
And then Lance Archer, that was just like a small feud, so it's
Yeah.
hard to kind of count that. And then also Dan Lambert was in that. I'm not a huge fan of Dan Lambert, so
Oh, I love Dan Lambert. I mean, as far as his heel
really,
work and how pissed off he can piss and how he can piss people off, I think he's doing a great job at that. You know.
I agree. It just kind of feels like you know how everyone exciting going to WWE ends up like feuding with Dolph Ziggler first. Like remember when Shinsuke got called up to the main
Yeah,
roster? It's
yeah.
and how so like Dolph has kind of become like an omen. I feel like Dan Lambert's slowly kind of becoming that, and I don't want that to happen.
Like from what I hear, Tommaso Ciampa's finna start getting into a feud with Ziggler.
I'm gonna be so sad. I think on Raw, Champa splashed water in his face.
Yeah,
Oh no, Champa's main roster run. Oh no, he's
I'm worried
Dolph
about
is
that
the angel of
myself.
death. Dolph is the Grim Reaper for these new stars coming from NXT.
Right.
How do you think AEW will change since Cody's leaving? Will others leave when the contracts are up? I think Jericho's leaving, but I don't know who else
Yeah.
leaves. I don't like Danielson signed a 3-year deal, and then he said that that's going to be his last full time, like his last time being a full time wrestler. So
Yeah.
I think he is probably going back to WWE for like a little bit just to get his Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah. Chris
Punk, I
Jericho.
doubt. Oh no, I was talking about Danielson. Sorry,
Oh, about well,
I think
I heard
Jericho
the
is
same
going.
thing about Jericho too.
Oh yeah, I think Jericho's going back sooner rather than later. He's been getting in shape now, so I feel like he might be preparing
Yeah,
for that. And I'm fine with that. Like Jericho, he's really done all he can in AEW. So
that's true. I mean, he was the
I think,
first champion, so
oh yeah, he definitely like he helped establish the company. That feud he
right.
had with Cody for the belt, that was so good. And then
Hmm.
he's done all he can really do to help. Besides, retire after putting over young talent, but he's not going to retire. He's going to be
Right.
going to WWE. So
I
I think
think if he was to
Jericho's
go
probably
back,
gone.
I think if he
What
was
was
to
it?
go back to WWE, I think if Jericho was to go back to WWE, I think he would. I mean, because at least in my opinion, I think he would make Hall of Famer. Once he retires, if they're on good terms, I can see Jericho going to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, definitely. I think Jericho definitely is going there. And I think he might
Yeah.
go for like a small 1 to 2 year run after his AEW contract's up.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
who do I see going to WWE? I'm trying to think. Like Punk, no. Danielson probably after his 3-year deal.
Yeah. I can see
Cole,
Danielson going
maybe.
back.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
The Bucks, I don't see it. Kenny, I don't see it.
No, I
Um,
don't. I can't ever see the Bucks back there because they're. I mean, they were
yeah.
there before. I think.
Like I think Matt Jackson's done a few squash matches. I remember he got squashed by the Big Show.
Yeah. Yeah. It was SmackDown, I believe.
Hmm. Um, like some of the dudes who were released, like Malachi Black, maybe I could see him if he wants to go back.
Mm.
But like the problem is that there's no NXT that he could really return to.
Right.
Andrade, maybe just to be with Charlotte.
Yeah, because it's a totally different landscape now over there.
Whose voice was that? Oh, Adam Cole.
Yep. Adam Cole, bye bye.
Um, Andrade, yeah. Pac, I don't see Pac going back. He literally walked out on the
No,
company.
he
So
hates that place now. He hates that place.
never again.
I can never see him go back. I can't see him going back there.
Moxley is
Remember-
like, I doubt Moxley, but like it's not like, I mean, Cody left, so you never know.
Right, exactly. If Cody can go, I mean, the door is open for like people like Mox to go back.
If Cody can go back, I think like that means the only person who like I can definitively say will never is Punk. Like, and if Punk goes back, literally anything's game.
Yeah.
But I doubt. I
Yeah,
sincerely doubt.
yeah.
There's like Punk is the only person I can like definitively say 100% chance he's not going back.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with that because I mean they let him and WWE were on such bad terms for a long time, and the beef between him and Triple H alone, I mean that right there.
Yeah, I can't wait till Cody goes back and Triple H is gonna be like, "Hey, what was that smashing the throne about?" That's gonna be
Right.
awkward.
Yeah, I can't deny. Part of me would love to see Cole wearing that belt. Can't deny that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna have it someday, and I can't wait till he does. I think
Mhm.
Adam Cole does like he's gonna work really good being the champion.
Yeah.
And Brenda, I definitely agree. Adam Cole is definitely ready. I think they're gonna have a really good match. I think that someday Adam Cole is gonna be AEW champion. Red Dragon's
Mhm.
gonna be tag team champions,
Oh yeah,
and then
definitely.
it's gonna be so good. I can't wait until we see Red Dragon in action. And I think it's just because Kyle O'Reilly just had a kid, so he's taking some
Yeah.
time off, which is totally fair. I'm
Yeah.
so glad
Very
that AEW.
understandable.
I'm so glad that AEW like lets their wrestlers be people and like, oh yeah, you need time off. You just had a
Mhm.
kid, go do that. You know,
Yeah.
it makes me feel like just appreciative to be a fan. You know,
Yeah. I can totally agree with that. Whereas with the WWE, only way you'll be able to get that time is if you're a big star, if you're a big
Mhm.
name, like Becky Lynch, for example. You
Yeah,
know, sh-
it's kind
and
of like,
you know,
is Lacey Evans still gone? Because that was a while ago that she had a kid.
yeah. I mean, she's still on the payroll of WWE. I just haven't seen her. I mean, and she's been on maternity leave for a while,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
been
not
a long
sure. And
time.
I just don't know if they have anything for her, but they're keeping her around for some reason.
It wouldn't surprise me if Vince forgot that she was on the roster.
That would not be a surprise. Because there's so many people I forgot were still working there. I forgot Elias was still there. I forgot
Oh
he
my
was
god,
still there.
whatever happened to him? Like he died or something? Like I saw a tombstone that said
Well,
like Elias or
the
something.
character Elias, the Drifter died, I think. But I think they're coming up with some kind of new character. I'm not sure what they're doing with him, but I know he still works for him.
I like to think he's gonna if he gets released, it'll just seem like he just actually died.
Right?
Oh man, it makes me so sad that like that just happens with like
Mhm.
storylines being cut off in the middle with
Yeah.
WWE. Like when Malik or when Aleister Black attacked Big E when he was Intercontinental Champion and then was literally released the next week.
Right.
That was just so frustrating. It's such a situation
Mhm.
of the left hand not talking to the right. And then AEW just kind of did that with Brandy feuding with Dan Lambert, and then Cody and Brandy dipping.
Yeah, they totally dropped that.
It was pretty weird. I thought the guitar died. It was so unclear. I do not know what happened with that feud, Eduardo.
Look at the smirk on Adam Cole's face. Like he's like, "Oh, I got this. I ain't worried." He looks so damn confident.
Mm-hmm. I think Hangman and Cole are gonna have a really good match. But I
Yeah.
want to see this. I want to see a more Hangman-driven story. Oh, hey, Kyle O'Reilly's back. Speaking of him,
Oh yeah, there they are.
I was not
Speaking of the
expecting him to be
devil.
there. Oh, I wonder if the Bucks come out and help him. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I could also totally see Roderick Strong joining them.
Yeah.
Like
Just security coming out
if
for
he's
now.
released.
Yeah. Oh, the Dark Order's out there now.
I was wondering where they were because they have not been
Yeah,
they have
they've
not been
just
with
been in the
Heyman.
background, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I also don't like when babyfaces stop chasing the heels because like the invisible wall.
Yeah.
That's such a Jim Cornette criticism. I think he literally says the same thing, but I don't like when that happens. Why are they attacking security?
It's a good question.
Why are they attacking security? What
That's what
happened?
I don't know. They just started hitting them. They just started hitting them, and now he tossed the last one out. I'm not sure what that was about, but they emptied the ring.
Wait, why? They're supposed to be the baby faces.
Exactly. I don't know what's going on with them.
I bet
Wow.
we're probably getting like a 10 match or something. 10
Yeah.
versus 10 versus Adam Cole. At least we'll probably get Dark Order versus what are they called? I'm just gonna call them Undisputed Era. They don't have a name yet, I don't
I
think.
mean, I'm so used to calling them that. I don't know what else to call them.
I really wish that they Adam Cole, Omega, Red Dragon, Young Bucks called themselves the Undisputed Elite. That's such a cool name, but I bet it wouldn't work with copyright.
No, because man, WWE is so quick to be like to send a cease and desist. They were quick to do that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for Sammy versus Darby. They have really good matches together. I just watched a few days ago. They had a match in AAW, and AEW had it online. I just watched it. It was very fast paced and very good.
Yeah, they do bring the best out of each other.
Who else will leave AEW? Jericho will. Danielson will. In 3 years, though, for Danielson. Jericho is going to be sooner rather than later. Like in terms of just leaving AEW, I think Andrade would probably go to Mexico, maybe. That wouldn't surprise me. But like he's probably not going back to WWE. There's not really any huge European promotions, so I doubt that Black would leave, but I could see Black going to WWE if they fix themselves, but I doubt they are.
Right.
Mox definitely not. I don't know who else, like maybe some like lower card talent. I could see like Jay Lethal going there someday, maybe, but I doubt that. Tony Nese was already released from there.
Right.
So I'd have to think about that, Brenda. I'd have to like look at I'll pull up the roster page and
it's
get
gonna
back to
take
you
a
on
lot of thought.
What if AEW or WWE introduced a kayfabe wrestler that's just like, I'm just here because wrestling is fake and I'm here to make it real? Would that character work in a day and age? I mean, WWE kind of has that with Walter, feels like, Walter's just like, I will actually beat you up. That's how Walter feels.
Right.
And like all of his matches have a different tone and a different feel than like a normal match. Walter's matches feel real. Like Walter versus
very
Tyler
believable.
Bate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of I'm here because wrestling is fake and I'm here to make it real. I don't know if a character like that would work just because that'd be like it's kind of like for the same reason Raw Underground didn't work because they had wrestling.
Yeah.
And then they had Raw Underground. That's like, oh, but this is real fighting. And it's like, wait, so are you saying your other stuff isn't real? So it would just be kind of weird. But that is a good thought.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pull up the roster page real quick, see if I can see who would leave.
I'm go check on this food. I'll try not to be too long. I'll be right back.
I got you. Yeah, I could see Andrade going to Mexico. I could see Billy Gunn maybe retiring with WWE as a performance center coach. I think Ogogo told WWE to piss off, so I doubt that he's going to be leaving for them. Brian Pillman Jr. maybe. I could see him going there. FTR, I doubt they're going to go back. Christian Cage, I could see him going there for like a small run if it's offered or a Hall of Fame induction. Jericho, he's definitely going back. Christopher Daniels, definitely not. Punk, definitely no. Daniel Garcia and all these young guys, Dante Martin, Darius, Dante. I said Dante twice, sorry. Darby. I bet they're with AEW for a long time. I don't see them going to WWE. Dustin, I think Dustin likes AEW. Eddie Kingston, I bet he's staying. Kazarian probably staying. Griff, I could see, because Griff's a big dude. I could see him signing with like an NXT. Private Party, that's another good one. If they don't get the respect that they deserve, because I'm actually really high on Private Party. I love Private Party. I could totally see him leaving. But I think if they're used more, then probably not. Hook is definitely staying because Taz is there. Jake Hager, I doubt WWE wants Hager back. Janela, no. I'm trying to see if there's anyone who I could see leaving. Like Mox, no. Keith Lee, I doubt. Omega, I doubt. Lance Archer's too old to go there. I see Mark Henry maybe going back for a Hall of Fame induction. Maybe Matt Hardy. Actually, no, I doubt Matt Hardy. He talks so much about like he always is trash talking WWE. Young Bucks are definitely staying. Matt Sydal, I don't see him going back. 2.0 probably staying. Miro, I bet Miro is, if he increases his stock a lot and WWE offers him a ton of money, I could see him going, but I don't envision that happening. MJF, depending on the bidding war of 2024, MJF could be going over there. Malachi Black, again, if main roster fixes itself. Orange Cassidy, definitely not. Pac, definitely not. Paul White, if they want to induct him in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Hobbs. Hobbs is totally the kind of guy WWE wants, but I know Hobbs has said he doesn't want to go over there. Same with Starks. I'm not really seeing anyone. I can see. I doubt Sting is going over there. And then Wardlow. WWE's going to want Wardlow. Who is winning the match? Jericho and Hager or Santana Ortiz? I really hope Santana Ortiz, because I love Proud and Powerful. But, man, Jericho going over just seems very plausible, doesn't it? Happened with MJF, you know. Happened with American Top Team. I don't want to think about that, but, man, Proud and Powerful deserved this win. They should have been tag team champions already. I think they should have beaten the Young Bucks. I think Santana Ortiz should have beaten the Young Bucks for him, and then Best Friend should have beaten Santana and Ortiz. Because I feel like Best Friends and Santana Ortiz are such good spiritual rivals. That's a great question, though, Brenda. I really wish Hager was able to, instead of just wrestling like a big man, I want him to, Jericho, what was that? I want him to wrestle like with his more amateur wrestling style. His arm triangle choke that he does for a finisher is really cool. But when he just is doing like big boots and shoulder tackles, it's just not doing it, you know? Like, could you imagine a big dude who could also like twist you into a pretzel and tap you out? I think Hager could definitely be that, but he's just choosing not to be with his wrestling style. Santana Ortiz underused? I think so. And maybe it's just because I'm biased and I really like him. But I think they should have been champions by now. I think that like them losing to Jericho and MJF about a year ago, like really just cemented them as being the secondary tag team in the Inner Circle, which I did not like. Who do y'all think is winning the Dante Martin versus Hobbs match? Anyone in the chat? Because personally, I want Hobbs to win. Same reason I said before. I want a Haas ladder match, but Dante would be so good in a ladder match. And right now, Hobbs and Dante are 1-1. Brenda says Dante. Dante would be just wild to see in a ladder match, wouldn't he? I would love if I don't think they do a Joker anymore, or maybe they're doing another mystery participant like they did last year. But maybe Darius is in it too. We get to see them reunite or something. I think that'd be cool. I can't wait till we see Darius again because I remember people were saying Darius was so good and much better than Dante, and then Darius got injured, and now everyone's all high on Dante. And so when Darius comes back, I hope people don't treat him like Marty Jannetty. You know, I really want to see FTR work with Top Flight. So. Excuse me. Ortiz has really gotten himself in shape. I remember like in 2020 and part of 2021, Ortiz, like he was just the bump guy in Proud and Powerful. And now, oh yeah, there is Eddie. You're right. And now he's just in such good shape. He's able to. I think he's just as good as Santana. But I feel like everyone just perceives Santana as better because Santana's always the one getting the hot tags. So, but I think they both deserve their respect. It is still just crazy to see Jericho just wrestle. Like he's like 50, right? Maybe 51. I think he's 50. Yeah, it's definitely 50. And it's just crazy to see. Oh man, I hate when tag teams do this spot of just slowly crawling to another wrestler. I'm not a fan of that spot at all. I prefer an out of nowhere hot tag. Like an example, just if you want just my personal opinion of the best tag team match, I would say it's DIY versus the Revival at NXT Takeover Toronto. That's, in my opinion, the best tag team match. With second place going to Holy Demon Army and Holy Demon Army versus Misawa and Kobashi. Sorry. I'm glad that Santana kicked out of that because he got hit by a code breaker. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that they're booking Santana. I could totally see Santana being a singles wrestler, but I hope he doesn't, at least for the foreseeable future, because he's so good with Ortiz. Oh my gosh, Hager, those punches looked horrible. I need to stop being so hypercritical of all the wrestling I watch. It's just going to make me, oh my gosh, Hager got air there. That was cool. But it's just going to make me dislike it. I wonder if Jericho's going to go for the lion salt. I could also see this angle giving us Eddie Kingston versus Jericho at Revolution, with Jericho hopefully cementing a heel turn after that for the remainder. Maybe Inner Circle breaks up. Inner Circle breaks up, and eventually Jericho, becomes a singles wrestler, and he just finds his way to Sammy again, and it's like the master who has fallen from grace versus Sammy. the student, and Sammy hopefully goes over there. I think that would be. Oh wow, that was actually a really nice catch by Jericho, turning that into the walls. That was really cool. No, but Santana cannot tap out. They cannot make him tap out. Come on, Santana. Come on. Come on. There we go.
All right,
It's
sorry that
matches.
took so long.
No, you're all good. I was just about to say it's matches like these that you don't know who's gonna win, where like you're just really invested in them.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've been trying to hurry up and get in and out of the kitchen. I've been kind of looking at it through the corner over the corner of the kitchen, just trying to see the match.
Oh,
Whew.
nice. Santana Ortiz won. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. Marvel fan man, Marvel fan man. Excuse me. Yeah, I did see Eddie.
I'm
Yeah,
glad the
so they were.
commentary is. Yeah, I think Marvel fan man. I agree. Jericho versus Eddie. I think that's the direction we're heading for Revolution. I like the commentary
Yeah.
is playing up that Jericho is the one who attacked Eddie out of nowhere.
Hmm.
If you can bring a wrestler alive or dead into AEW, who would you pick? Am I allowed to make it like? Am I allowed for it to be the wrestler in their prime if they're dead? Because if it's prime, I would say
Hmm.
Owen Hart.
Oh,
Owen Hart definitely.
definitely. I would say Eddie Guerrero. I love to see Eddie Guerrero in there.
That was another one I was thinking. I love Eddie. Who's another one? Like maybe Ricky Steamboat. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool. Oh, let's see. I'm thinking of somebody now. Somebody else not okay. Uh, a lot of dead or alive. Well, let me see. Hmm. Jeez, that's a tough one right there, though.
That is such a difficult question. Um, I mean Walter. I would love to see Walter in AEW. I think Toshiaki Kawada would be really cool in AEW, like a prime him or
Hmm.
prime Aja Kong. Oh my god, if Aja Kong
Oh,
was in it, that'd be so cool.
yeah.
I would love to see prime Aja Kong versus like Ty Conti. Like I think
That'd
in
be so
2018,
fire.
Aja Kong and Hikaru Shida had a match in 2018, and obviously Aja Kong is old, but it was still a really good match. Could you
Hmm.
imagine Aja Kong in her prime? Oh my god,
Yeah.
Manami Toyota too.
I love to see a Shinsuke Nakamura there, but like the New
Oh yeah.
Japan version of Shinsuke Nakamura, not the WWE version, but like the New
Oh
Japan
yeah.
version.
No, Shinsuke Light is what WWE got. Well, not even what they got; it's
Yeah.
what they're forcing him to be. Man,
Hmm.
Shinsuke versus Omega. Man, I would love to see that.
Because like I
Shinsuke
mean,
versus Bryan Danielson.
yes, I mean because Shinsuke in his prime, like in Japan, was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Was a beast.
Arguably the best wrestler in the world, and then now he's
Yeah.
in WWE, where he was Intercontinental Champion for like a few months and defended it like twice.
Hmm. Yeah. They pretty much wired him down over there.
Definitely. Who's another man? This is difficult. There's so many wrestlers. prime like Brock Lesnar. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I would consider Brock Lesnar's prime though, because he was
because
great
he's pretty.
in like he's still good, you know.
Yeah, he's still kind of in his prime now.
I would argue that his match against Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series 2018 is his best match. You know,
Yeah.
that's a. I don't know how many people will agree with that, but like, I don't even know which version of Brock I want. I want both of them.
Because I don't know if Brock, he did some. I know. In fact, I think Shinsuke and Brock used to have some battles in Japan. They used
I
to go
think they
tit for
have
tat
wrestled
in
before. Yeah,
Japan. Yeah.
man. Now I'm thinking.
You're right. They got you thinking now, right?
We need the best wrestler in the world, Shane McMahon. He won the
Oh.
trophy. He's a free agent now. TK, get him. Where is
Oh
he?
man. I mean, you can't deny it would be killer
That
ratings
would
if
be
they brought Shane
wild.
McMahon in.
I would. Oh my god, if they brought Shane in, like
Hmm.
WWE gets Cody, AEW brings in Shane. Oh man,
Shane, yeah, think about that. That
I
puts
want
so
Owen
much heat
Hart's
on
son to
Shane
wrestle him.
already. All right, no DQ
Is this
match.
Mercedes Martinez?
Yeah, she ain't letting go of that pipe either.
I hope that Diamante gets officially signed soon.
Mm.
I think. Oh, it's John Kreese.
Oh,
Shane and AEW would be wild. Can you imagine the story that could be told? Oh man,
that gets so much heat right there on Shane alone.
I don't even know how the stadium, or how any arena would react. I don't know if they would cheer or boo.
I can. Okay, the thing is that like inherently people are gonna like Shane more than Vince.
Oh,
But I
definitely.
think if Shane was to come into AEW, I think it'll be like a mixed bag. I think that you get some cheers, you get some boos, you'll get some why the hell are you here's, all that stuff.
Thunder Rosa with the Kill Bill gear.
Yeah, I love it. Della Rosa always has some awesome gear, awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Last time she was Wolverine, and then you know,
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that there's a faction in AEW's women's division. I would buy a Shane shirt.
yeah,
I definitely would too. Actually, maybe. I don't know. Wrestling shirts are expensive. Man,
right.
he did survive a helicopter. That's such a crazy story that Shane was just in a helicopter crash and he was interviewed on the news.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who made fun of that. There was a wrestler that made fun of that. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it may
I
have been
don't
Kevin
remember that.
Owens. I think it may have been Kevin
Really?
Owens that did that when him and Kevin Owens had
Oh
that
yeah, their
beef.
feud. Yeah.
He's like, you think you're so cool because you survived a helicopter crash? Like he said something like that.
That's such a Kevin Owens thing to say. I love Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and that's somebody else who I would love to see in AEW eventually, but it's Kevin Steen.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see him. I think he just signed a new deal for. Oh my God, that barricade was not supposed to fall down.
Whoa. Yeah. He has signed a multi-year deal. He'll be there for a while.
Mm. Highest drop for a wrestler to take.
Highest
The
drop.
best bump falling from a helicopter. The best bump. Shane
Yeah.
takes crazy
Yeah.
bumps. So
Yeah. And he doesn't have to do any of that. He doesn't have to do. He didn't. He never any of it. He never had to do. Only
I mean,
reason why he did it was to please everybody else.
him falling from the scaffolding was pretty cool.
Yeah, and there was no need for it. Just like when his dad, with him and Stone, when his dad and Stone Cold had that cage fight, and his dad flew
And
off the
Vince was
cage and
at
hit
the
the
table.
table. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no need for it, but damn it, I loved watching it.
More picture in picture.
Yep, the food
Um,
looks good though.
well, now that we're in picture, oh wow, Tony Nese uploaded a picture of him and Buddy Matthews earlier today. I just saw it now. Could that be
Hmm.
foreshadowing? People are saying that Buddy Matthews might appear in AEW soon.
I'm surprised he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, I kind of am too. I think I could totally see him being with the House of Black. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if he's gonna get the main event level push, but you know, I wouldn't be against
Uh,
it.
yeah, I wouldn't be against it either, but I mean,
There's so much main event talent. I think
yeah, exactly. I
you
mean,
know
it
you
may
got
take time for it to
Keith
get there.
Lee, Keith Lee,
Yeah,
Malachi Black, Andrade, Pac, Moxley, Punk, Danielson, Omega, Cole,
yeah.
Page. That's so many names, and like there's
Mhm.
just gonna be so many more too. Especially if Gargano and Swerve come in.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like if there is one free agent that has to be picked up, I think it is Gargano. You know,
I mean, it would make sense. It would make total sense because he's one of the hottest free agents right now.
mm. He's also like younger than Samoa Joe. I don't know how old he is, but he's younger than Joe. Joe has always been plagued by injuries, but
Yeah.
you know, I would love to see another Gargano versus Cole match, Gargano versus Andrade, Gargano versus Pac,
Yeah. Those are some dream matches right there.
Gargano versus Omega, Gargano versus. I can't believe we didn't get Gargano versus Danielson, and when they were both in WWE.
I never thought about that, but you got a good point with that one.
If we don't get Gargano versus Danielson at some point, the world is irreversibly broken.
I think it's got to happen eventually. I mean, as long as those two are still wrestling, they gotta cross paths eventually.
hmm And like, if not in AEW, some other promotion. Like I know Daniel,
Yeah.
I could totally see Danielson going working like some small shows in Mexico, working other small shows in the United States. I think the guy just wants to
Hmm.
wrestle, you know, which I totally respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of more dream matches. I was about to say Gargano versus Andrade. I wonder how Gargano versus Andrade 2 would go.
I like to see Andrade versus Punk. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I love Andrade. Like when he first got into AEW, like he didn't really like fit in the best. He had to shake off some of the WWE rust, but like I think he does
Right.
some really good work. It just feels like
Oh
it's
yeah.
been a while since he's wrestled.
Mm.
Same for
Oh,
Black actually.
gee. You see that landing
Oh
that Thunder Rosa just
yeah,
took?
that table did not want to. That table just
Ugh.
bent. It didn't even break.
Yeah, it just bent. Oh my god. That has to be murder on the lower back right there.
hmm
Jeez.
Shane versus MJF just for the mic alone. I would love to see MJF call Shane a hot dog or something. Like just look at him. That'd be so funny. I really hope that this feud is what leads us to Thunder Rosa versus Britt for Revolution, and I think it is
Yes.
because Mercedes is sent by Britt. Britt, like, is evidently scared of Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be. It's got to happen now. I think they've waited a long time for it.
And then have Rosa take the title. Just give her the damn belt already. You know?
hmm Yeah, I could totally see and they've also been building up Serena Deeb as a heel now, which I'm glad they've done
Yeah.
because they can't just keep using Nyla Rose as a heel.
Yeah.
But I could totally see Serena actually taking the belt from Rosa. I think it would be a great
Mhm.
match. And I know they've had
Yeah.
a match on AEW TV before, but it was just kind of fine because Britt Baker was interfering in it.
Yeah.
Oh, she put her in the
Oh.
trash can.
Oh, that was a cool move.
I love Thunder Rosa's corner drop kick.
Thunder Rosa's so awesome. I love her. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
You're allowed to grab the ropes in a no disqualification match? I did not know that.
That's what I was thinking. It
Like,
didn't no
what? Hold
DQ.
up.
You got a botch there.
Doesn't feel like it'd be allowed.
That gets on my nerves when refs forget that they're in a DQ match. You know, they don't
Well,
have
I
to
mean, like,
break the rope.
I feel like the ref really can't be like just count the 3 anyway, because that probably wasn't the finish they have planned.
Hmm.
That's why being a ref sounds just really stressful.
Especially if you're in a big match like that. I mean, you have so many things you have to be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that was awesome spiral suplex. You see her crumble
Oh
up.
my gosh, that was amazing! Yeah,
Whoa, God.
that was great.
Oh, that was an ugly elbow drop. That was an ugly elbow drop.
Oh, that was not good. She just slipped off of the rope right onto Rosa's face.
Ugh. Yeah, wearing each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love how Thunder Rosa sold that suplex. It was beautiful. Where she sold that.
She's such a good babyface.
Yeah.
I really think that, like, when she first came into AEW from the NWA, I was like, I don't know who she is, so I wasn't really excited for it. But then, like, she's really just become one of my favorite women's wrestlers in AEW. Like, only behind Serena Deeb and Ruby Soho for me.
Yeah. I love how vicious Serena's gotten. I love how
Mm.
vicious that she's gotten. I love it. We
Her
needed that from
5-minute
her.
challenge thing is really cool, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first person who lasts the 5 minutes, not even beats her, but who lasts the 5 minutes is probably going to get a huge rub depending on how long it lasts.
Yeah.
That Fire Thunder Driver wasn't great looking. It kind of looks like Rosa was the only one who hit the chairs.
Mm. Yeah.
I wonder what stipulation. I wonder if Britt and Rosa 3 is going to have a stipulation or not. I think it should, personally. I think it should be an Iron Woman match. I think that'd be really cool.
That's a good idea. Damn, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I've been working on a fantasy booking for a WWE and AEW like super card. And so far one of the 11 matches I have is Baker versus Banks in an Iron Woman match.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I think the AEW should do more stips with the women's division, because like it feels like they've been doing a lot of them. They've had that no disqualification match the street fight between Anna Jay and Ty Conti, and then Penelope Ford and the Bunny, and that was just so bloody and great. Yeah. And then they had Rosa versus Baker, which was just iconic. It just feels like these stips and hardcore style matches, they're doing huge amounts for the women's division.
Yeah,
and I would love if they played more into it.
Yeah. You see Thunder Rosa help her up and bent and bow to her.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if John Kreese is going to beat up Rosa.
You did not finish her. Just want to hunk his nose, man. Just one good time.
His nose. It's so. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So this is definitely how the feud starts. I love that Baker is like scared of Rosa, and so she's just willing to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I also cannot wait until Jamie Hayter betrays Baker.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. It has to happen. They've been teasing it for so long already. I mean,
Jamie has never done the DMD thing, I don't think.
Hmm. No. Mm-mm. I've never seen her do it.
Do you think she's gonna hit her or no?
Oh, nope. She waited too long, and I don't think she
Oh,
was going to do it anyway. I mean,
I
because
think this
Thunder
is how
Rosa
we
just
get.
showed her a sign of respect.
Hmm. Yeah, I think we're gonna get Jamie versus Mercedes soon because they already had that like tease earlier.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I hope Jamie Hayter wins that one. I feel like Mercedes Martinez doesn't need to be a huge name. Maybe just like a mid card talent for the women's division because
Yeah.
she's older. She could
Right.
probably more suited to be a trainer for AEW's women, but who could still go? I think Hayter is younger. She's over,
Hmm.
and she already has like a story brewing with Britt.
Yeah.
Oh, Malachi Black.
Yeah, I agree, Brenda. I mean, I'm loving how they're booking this rivalry right here. I'm loving it. Mystery. Oh shit. Who was that? Okay, somebody was in the back. You see that?
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, who is that? That's the third
That's what I'm
member.
thinking now. Who is that?
I'm excited for Kings of the Black Throne versus Penta and Pac. Didn't they just do that
Mhm.
match?
I think
They
so.
did just wait. Why are they doing it again? Hold up. What?
Huh.
Why are they? I don't like that. No, I don't like that one bit. I bet they're doing that because Phoenix is coming back. I bet Phoenix is going to come back next week, and then
Yeah.
yeah, Phoenix is coming back next week, and then Phoenix is going to chase off the House of Black, and then the third member is going to debut because Phoenix is already healthy. I think he's wrestling this weekend. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be with. He's gonna. Yeah. They're doing a. He's gonna be in a tag team match this weekend, I believe.
mm.
Hmm.
I love Jay White. He's so cool. I can't believe that New Japan is, in my opinion, is kind of like just dropped the ball on him uh, this
Mhm.
past like year.
Yeah.
Like in 2021 at Wrestle Kingdom 15, he had what is like it's in my top 5 matches of 2021. Jay White versus Ibushi. That's in my top 5 matches of 2021. And then he was so good then. And then now he's on Strong and Impact. And now that he's here in AEW, I'm glad that he's getting a lot more buzz back. But man,
Yeah.
him going from main event of night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom to New Japan Strong has not been doing it.
All
I will be right back. I apologize.
right. Go ahead, man. Oh, so many commercials. Come on, let's get back to the action already. But yeah, I mean, back to this rivalry with the women and everything. I mean, I cannot complain about that one bit. I think it's being booked very well. And with the way they brought in Jay White, I mean, I can't complain about that either. I think as long as they keep the booking up to par, and I think as long as they keep the fans satisfied, I mean, they can go far with this. Oh, how do we meet? I mean, through Connor. We met through Connor, the AEW fan guy. He brought us all together. To answer your question, there, Vardo, he's the he's the guy who pretty much got us together and formulated a plan to start this podcast. So AEW fan guy is the takes all the credit for that, or Connor as you may know him. I'm wondering, you know, as far as I've been thinking a lot about Jeff Hardy lately. What's going to be happening with him, and what where he would fit in AEW. I've thought a lot about that lately, and I mean, if any of y'all have any opinions about that, you can always chime in. But I'm just wanted to throw something out there. Time for the main event, folks. We got Dobby Yellen coming out first.
Sorry for that. Someone on my floor needed some help with something.
No, you're good, man.
So, how did all of you on the pod meet? I was just DM'd by Connor on Twitter one day, and he just asked if I would like to be a part of the podcast, and I said sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's
What
pretty
about you?
much what I had. That's pretty much what I said. Like Connor is the one that pretty much got us all together, and
Mm-hmm. Connor has an eye for people who will have good chemistry together, and that was
yeah.
pretty cool. He also helped me set this up so we could have the episode today, despite him not being here. So, yeah,
hmm
he's definitely
Hope he's
he's like our leader out of this. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly. He's the director of it all, I guess you can say.
yeah, I'm really excited for this match. I don't know who wins. I think Sammy wins, and I think we get Andrade beating Sammy at some point after Revolution.
Yeah.
But I would argue that Connor and Chris are having the better time at Dynamite tonight. It's been a great
Yeah, I'm pretty
episode.
sure they're having a great time, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's an awesome show. It's an awesome episode tonight.
On Friday, I'm sure they'll have plenty of stories to tell you guys
Oh yeah.
about their experience. I won't be on Friday. I have a concert that day, so
Oh yeah. Sammy two belts coming out. I love how he keeps I love how he keeps both the belts. That is so awesome.
I've seen
Sammy
some
two
people who
belts in the
didn't
place.
like it, but I like that he wears both of them.
I love it, man. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's my boy Sammy two belts walking to the ring.
I kind of hope Sammy wins this one because right now, as it stands, I think Darby has 2 wins in AEW. Darby has 2 wins on
Yeah.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Is that a Tony Nese sign? That's awesome.
Whoa, somebody actually has a Tony Nese.
Yeah, I love Tony Nese. Obviously, he's not I'm not gonna go being he should be AEW champion, but I think he's a
Yeah.
good mid carder.
Right. He's been spotted in the crowd a few times at different shows.
Well, he's signed to them right now. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm just wondering
yeah.
what the hell they're gonna do with him.
Me too. It's hard to pick who will win. Yeah, I definitely agree. I wonder what
I
Tony
mean,
Nese.
because
I could just see him being in you know how
yeah,
Frankie Kazarian's a mid carder face. I could see him just being a mid
yeah,
card heel, kind of like Frankie, but
yeah.
maybe takes
Me
over Sean
being,
Spears' role.
you know what? That's not bad. That's
What were
actually
you
pretty
gonna say?
cool. I was gonna mention that Sammy being a Texas boy, I'm kind of I'm kind of partial to him because both from Texas, and I want to see him get over on this. But at the same time, I'm a Darby Allin fan. I love Darby. So it is
Mm-hmm.
pretty hard, but the Texas boy in me wants to see, you know, wants to see the Spanish God win.
Yeah, I feel that. I'll be watching Colt Cabana versus someone, and then I'll be like, "Oh, come on, Colt, you have to win this one. You're from Chicago."
Right?
I have a huge bias towards wrestlers from my area. That's why I love Juice Robinson. He's from Joliet, which is the town right
Hmm.
next to where I'm from.
Oh, that's awesome.
hmm I'm pretty sure he's from Joliet. Let me make sure I'm right before I look like an idiot.
That's good. They shook hands for good sportsmanship before the match. That's good. It's a good sign.
Juice Robinson. Yep, he's from Joliet.
Hmm.
These two are awesome wrestlers. I've met them both. Oh, that's really awesome. You actually met them? Man, I haven't met like any wrestlers. Like I've met a few at like local shows that have
Hmm.
like 100 people at them. But
Yeah.
I was going to go up and ask Victor Benjamin and Lady Frost for a picture, but it was at an AAW show, and I was there. I was like walking up about to go ask him, and then the wrestlers were like brawling outside the ring, and then they were like, "Oh, we have to go," because they were about to like get to our place, and I was like, "No," and I didn't get the picture. It was so sad.
I remember I met JTG from Crime Time not too long
Oh,
ago. He was
really?
actually pretty. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty awesome.
That sounds really cool.
Took a picture together. If since we're Facebook friends, you probably see on my pictures. We're doing
Yeah,
the outsider. We're doing the outsiders pose. You'll probably find that picture somewhere on there.
I'll have to check after this. And that sounds really cool. I just found, because right now I'm at Illinois State. There's a promotion here in Bloomington called like Iron Spirit Pro. I'll have to
Hmm.
see and if they have anything good there, but I want to see if they'll train me or something. That'd be cool.
Hmm.
Like
I
doing
mean,
work to get trained.
most places will train you. And the thing is, if you don't have the money to train, they'll have you work it out as far as like helping out with shows, building up rings and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, there's a promotion in Joliet called Rocket Pro Wrestling, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna apply to there soon over summer because like I'm gonna just email them.
Go for it, dude. You only live once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so long as I don't have to spend the money because I'm broke. I spend all my
Well, I
money on
mean,
concerts and wrestling shows.
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these places, they'll let you work it off. You know, they'll let you set up for different events and stuff as payment. Like you'll travel with the ring crew, set up the ring, take it
Yeah,
down every single place they go, help with concessions and stuff like that.
hmm and it doesn't hurt that they only run one venue, so
Yeah,
that'll be nice. It's an easy drive. I'm liking this match. It has a way faster pace than most other matches on this card, and I think that's
yeah.
just Sammy and Darby being Sammy and Darby.
I mean, because like I said, oh my god, that was awesome.
I think you're like 2 seconds ahead of me. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah, that is.
probably
Oh my
am.
god, yeah, that's insane. Sammy
See,
does not care about his body.
uh, no, not at all. I mean, they bring the best out of each other. That's what I love about seeing these two together.
Sammy, I
Like
think
you
he is
know you're
kind of
gonna get a kick
underestimated.
ass match.
Oh, definitely. I think Sammy is kind of underrated in the ring because he just puts his all into his matches, and
Hmm.
he talks about how he's his harshest critic, and he's always like pointing out what he does wrong in his matches and everything, and I have huge respect for that. And so
Yeah.
that's why I think he's just getting better every time because he's, oh, what can I do better? Oh, let's just go for it. Like when he faced MJF and he launched from the rope to the inside, no, right outside the barricade. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just
Yeah.
insane.
And I mean, if you're in the point, if you're to the point to where you're thinking, okay, what can I do better? I think, especially him being as young as he is, and him thinking that way about himself. I mean that just builds up to like his character and like how much he cares about the business and how much he cares about what he does in that ring.
Yeah, I think he definitely has the mindset that is going to get him far
Yeah.
in this business. Like I know people have already made comparisons to Eddie Guerrero, which like I'm not a fan of comparing wrestlers of now to wrestlers of old because you're
Yeah.
always going to find differences. I prefer if people are like if he's not the next Eddie Guerrero, he's the first Sammy Guevara kind of. You know, I
Right.
that's the mindset that I'm more a part of. But there is no like, it makes sense. just the charismatic babyface who acts very cocky. There's some similarities.
Yeah. Both from Texas, both high flyers.
Mm-hmm. I believe Eddie Guerrero is from Mexico, and Sammy, I think, is from Cuba. So
No, Eddie's from
what's
El
the difference?
Paso.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I meant like just heritage wise, not where they're booked from.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, as far as heritage, yes, his heritage is in Mexico.
Mm. I'm pretty sure Sammy is from. I think Sammy's heritage is Cuban. Let me check. Now I
Yeah,
have to make sure because I'm
I
not. I
think
don't
he
want
may be. I
to
think you may
dumb.
be right about that.
Let's see. I haven't found it yet. I'm just gonna Control F. Cuba. Yep. Okay, that's right. Thank God. It's so weird to me that Cody is leaving, but he already has 2 shows on TNT. He
On
has
Turner,
Rose to the
yeah,
Top. Yeah, he has Rose to the Top, and he has Go Big Show, and he's just leaving AEW for W. That's such. That kind of just shows like, hey, he might be like taking a step back from the wrestling business. I think maybe he wants to focus
probably.
on his entertainment.
I mean, but believe it or not, I mean, Cody has been working hurt for the longest time.
Mm,
Like he's been going in matches hurt. Like he has herniated discs in his back, all kinds
really,
of
I
junk
didn't know
wrong with
that.
him. Yeah, he has like 3 of them, I think, like in his lower back.
Hmm.
So in essence, I couldn't blame Cody if he wanted to step back from the wrestling business for a little bit and just, be
Heal
a
up.
be a dad and yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like with how much he did for AEW, he might want to just take a step back. And
yeah,
it's almost like how people are saying that for Shinsuke, WWE is like a semi-retirement, considering just how difficult the schedule is and how hard hitting the matches were. WWE is like
right,
a cakewalk for him, so he's enjoying his like semi-retirement. I can see Cody maybe thinking the same thing.
right, yeah.
Oh my god. I would love to see. I really wish that we got Sammy versus Darby versus Andrade at Revolution. I think that would have been an awesome triple threat.
Yeah, actually, that would have been awesome.
I do hope Andrade is on the pay per view in some capacity. I think he'll be in the face of the Revolution ladder match.
Mm, yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of the Spanish Fly, but Sammy makes it like look pretty good from the top rope. Because usually it just looks like it's opponent assisted, but that one was pretty nice.
Hmm. And you have to be working together to do a move like that. I mean, you can't just jump off the thing and expect them to do it with you. They have to be
Hmm.
like 1, 2, 3, jump. You
Yeah.
know, 'cause I've seen botches of that move not working, and it's scary looking when it doesn't
Ugh.
work.
Seeing someone land on their head like that, yeah.
Yes, very scary.
Didn't that happen? I think it happened with Ray Phoenix at one point.
I think so.
Man, Ray Phoenix's botches kind of scare me. What is Sammy
Oh,
going for here? Oh, he's going for the figure four. Wow, I thought he was going to go for the Last Supper.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. He threw a figure four out of there out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Oh, he reversed it just the way you're supposed to reverse it.
I really like that Darby has like his own special pin with the Last Supper. I think it's unique. It's kind of like how
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy had the mouse trap, and I don't know what the one Wheeler used was called.
Hmm.
Oh, that was a stiff slap. That was a Stephanie
Oh,
McMahon ass slap.
yeah, Stephanie McMahon slap. That's a good way to put it, because her slaps were vicious.
Those things were not fake.
No,
Oh man, I genuinely don't
man,
know
they
who's
are
gonna win this
killing
one.
it tonight.
Does Darby become
They
a
are killing
three-time
it,
champion?
man.
Maybe
Oh my
Darby
god.
becomes a three-time champion just to tie Cody, but
Oh my god.
oh, now it's the Last Supper.
Oh.
Okay, I'm glad that Sammy kicked out of that one.
Oh,
Oh no, this is gonna be a
dude.
Darby's patented suicide dive, isn't it? Oh, that was a nice cutter.
Did you
Oh my
see
gosh,
that, dude? The
that was
cutter out
so
of
awesome.
nowhere. Oh, he hit that very. Oh, that was so perfect how he hit that.
Hmm. Man, I think people underestimate Sammy's in-ring ability, and I think I do too, actually. Because
Yeah.
I was talking earlier how I think he might be like third or fourth best pillar. But man,
Mm,
every time he gets in the ring, I'm like, man, Sammy's so like underrated in ring wise. Like, I'm not a
yeah.
huge fan of his character. Like, I think his character is good, but I think the other pillars,
Oh.
except for Jungle Boy, have like more of a character. But man, he goes so hard with his matches. Oh my god,
Oh,
the
you see his.
senton,
Oh
man.
my, that was nuts, man.
Like, is that selling even fake? Like how he's just
No,
crunched
he's
over.
not.
That has
No,
like that's just real.
that's not fake at all.
No
That's a
way, that's
real.
fake.
That's real pain.
Hmm. God, I do not have the mental fortitude to do that to myself. How did that look worse than the senton onto Cody during the ladder match? Oh my
I
goodness.
know, right? Just his landing alone got me cringing, man.
Man, maybe Darby takes it after that. Oh no.
He's going up.
I love the coffin drop as a finisher because it gets the audience excited when he's going up. And there's just so many
Yeah,
ways things that could happen once it's like executed. You know, someone can reverse it, someone can catch it, someone he can just hit it.
yeah,
The only thing I
exactly.
don't like is that Billy Gunn kicked out of it.
He did. I never saw that. He kicked out of it.
Yeah, I think that was so weird to me. It's like, no,
Oh,
Billy
come
Gunn
on.
is not. Oh, it's Jose. We love Jose. No, get off of him, Sting.
Oh,
Get off of Jose.
oh. We were just talking about Andrade.
Man, I kind of think Sammy should have just won this one on his own merit, though.
Yeah, I totally believe you on that one. You should have.
I don't think Andrade needed to help with that because then that kind of just makes Sammy look weak if he retains. Or maybe this is how we get that triple threat at
Exactly.
Revolution.
Right. You see him shrug his shoulders, like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna do it. Oh, this has got to be it right here.
Hmm. Yeah, I bet this is how. I hope you have a great evening. I'm gonna say goodnight, and I was wondering what time Rampage is. The match with Darby and Sammy is so extreme. I believe that Rampage is on 4 Central, which is wait, maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
Rampage comes on 8 o'clock Central.
8 o'clock Central? Okay.
Yeah. No, 9. I think because
Oh,
Rampage
I thought
starts at 9.
yeah, I just thought that I thought that what's it called? Uh oh no. I thought there was a special edition of it.
Oh, they probably are doing
Next
a special edition of it because of the games.
yeah.
So yeah,
Hold
they
on, let me
probably are doing a
check.
special edition. Thanks for tuning in, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for all of you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that this is how we get the triple threat at Revolution.
Yes. You know what? I'm not
Oh,
mad at
Andrade.
that.
Andrade
I'm not
looks
mad
so
at
good
that at
with those
all.
belts.
I agree. I'm not mad at that at all, man. Not at all.
Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, so it's at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock
Yeah.
Pacific. So it's at 6 Central. I
Oh,
still won't be able to
okay.
watch it.
6. Oh, okay. No, here's gonna be 7. Okay, I got it. All right. Well, shit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now I know what time it's gonna be on.
Oh, yeah,
And
this is
once again,
definitely how
thank
we
you
get.
all for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you everyone for showing up. Even though Connor and Chris weren't here, it's been a great stream. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We will see you all. I will not be here on Friday, but Mr. Jenkins, will you be here on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be here on Friday.
Yeah, and Connor and Chris will be back for
Yep.
coverage of AEW Rampage. Night, everyone.
Yep. Peace.